Good morning, everybody. This is July 27th, 2022, and it's almost 9:15 a.m. I'm just doing this update for myself or whoever. I hope this being seen. Little history here. I am the victim of identity theft. I'm the victim of attempted homicide. I am the victim of framing. I am the victim of sex assault, kidnapping. I am the victim of O.P.P, Lennox and Addington County, Napanee, revenge retaliation for speaking of police crimes since 2019. Back when this all started to happen, there was stuff going on at the Morningstar mission that involved exploiting the homeless and human trafficking. And once I started talking about it, O.P.P. Spencer Mills, a drug cop here in town, showed up at my door back in 2019 to basically let me know and threaten me and not directly, but basically to let me know that if I did not stop talking about what was taking place, there would be serious consequences. And then the ex-chief, a day or so later, approximately 3 p.m. in the afternoon, he went by. I was at my previous address. He went by, which was on Center Street on the corner of Center and Bridge at the lights by there. And he went by, he waved at me. He was in a white Jeep. I waved back. This was approximately 3 p.m. in the afternoon, roughly. I waved back anyway. A black truck pulls up beside him. I seen them point something. They shot it and it went into my right ear. I started having problems after that. Whatever it was, it went into my ear and it started to make its way down my ear. And then all of a sudden it was moving up to the back of my head and basically to the right side of my head to my parietal lobe. And I started getting problems. I started getting serious burning. I was having other problems. I was getting shocking and everything else after that. So I went to the hospital to find out what the fuck's going on here. I go to the hospital, and a mental health worker, Stacy, who I had talked to previously for somebody else to get help for and walked out on, showed up at the hospital, was at the hospital for my CAT scans in November of 2019, stating that she was there for me, for anxiety, for all this other stuff. 100% bullshit lie. I had no previous association with her. She was there talking to her girlfriend at the time, Tatiana V, aka Margie V. When she seen I was there with my mother at the time and someone else, she walked right by us. And then I got my CAT scans done. I wanted to see copies and results of them. I was basically called retarded. I was told that I would not understand them, and I was told to get on medication, and I was basically treated like shit afterwards. And it's been medical blacklisting, lies, discrimination, medical treatment refusals, and everything else. I would go to other hospitals. I seen your file, Mr. Wood. We're not doing anything for you. What do you expect us to do? Whatever the fuck they're talking about. I went to the hospital in Kingston to try to get help. They conveniently got a call stating that I was on drugs. I do not do drugs, motherfuckers. I am against drugs, and everybody knows me, knows I'm against drugs. I've lost too many friends and family. But at the time, I had long hair, so it worked. And they believed it. They got a call another time stating that I was suicidal. Bull fucking shit. I am wood. I am life. I am not about death. I have no interest in taking my own life or harming myself in any way, shape, or form. All bullshit lies against me. There's been lies stating that I've had a long history of psychological history in and out of institutions and hospitals and everything else. 100% bullshit lie. I have never, ever in my life been in there. I've had lies cast against me stating that I've been in and out of jails and prisons my whole life and that I have a long criminal history and this and that. All 100% bullshit lie. I have never, ever in my life been in there. I never had any criminal record up until I was falsely charged for wanting doctors and cops charged, and it was done to deflect their crimes against me. I've been injured, I've been tortured, I've been sex assaulted, I've been kidnapped, I've had my blood and my piss taken on me. The reason I was falsely charged also because of me going through this identity theft with O.P.P boss and co-offender inmate who is untouchable, who is also allegedly Hells Angels Ontario chapter boss, William Aldridge of 149 Center Street. So he started on the scene stalking after everything started going on, constantly showing up everywhere. I would go outside and he'd be right there, him and O.P.P. Reason is because they took off his prisoner tracking and they put it onto me for stalking, for framing, for tracking me, for part of this crime. I've had serious skull deforming. I've had serious facial deforming. I would go to the hospital and I'd be treated like a piece of shit to the point where I would walk out and then they would turn around and make it look like it was me refusing medical help and treatment, and that's not the case. I was being called names, I was being treated like shit, and I'm 50 years old and I'm not going to be treated like that, nor do I have to when I'm there for help. And because of their involvement and helping buy time and cover up medical treatment refusals and everything else along the way, you are guilty just as much of medical negligence with intent to commit. You are guilty of my skull being split. You are guilty of all brain damage done to me, which can be proven if it's not too late, because it has been 3 years of this. The ones guilty, the human traffickers, the ones guilty of the murdered and missing, the ones framing illegally, nothing O.P.P does in Napanee is legal. Me and my mother were proof and test subjects to prove that O.P.P and doctors and everyone else involved can get away with any crime they want to here in Napanee. They are the human traffickers. They are guilty of the murdered and missing as well. They are guilty of framing. They're guilty of identity thefts. They are guilty of torture. They are guilty of sex assaults. They are guilty of human rights violations. They are guilty of terrorism. Lennox and Addington County, O.P.P, Napanee, Ontario, and so is Paladin Security now involved, who conveniently kicked me out, got a phone call or something, and kicked me out of the hospital for no legitimate reason. I went there and I sat down. I registered. I sat down. He came out, told me to get the fuck out. I never was asked by anybody. There was no problems whatsoever. There was nothing said, only me registering, and he took it upon himself to come and kick me out. So as a result, I suffered more serious problems. So now he is involved with this as well, and he will, in attempted homicide, knowingly or unknowingly got involved with this. As people can see, there has been serious skull changes to me. And serious identity changes to me. This is how O.P.P traffic, this is how O.P.P frame, and this is how O.P.P murder. And the one doing it to me lives right at 149 Center Street North, Napanee, Ontario. He is the boss to O.P.P. He is a serial killer sex offender. I've been saying I'm going through this, and I've been proving it and proving it and proving it and how it's being done. Well, guess what? It's pretty much done. I've had serious, look at this. My skull's been flattened, deformed seriously, split. You were guilty of this, Lennox and Addington Hospital. You were guilty of this, O.P.P Spencer Mills, Staff Sergeant Shannon Cork, Robert King, Robert Lucas, Shelley Hafner, Stacy, mental health worker, Dr. Tatiana B., Dr. McGregor, Dr. Barton, Dr. Pritchard, Dr. Waldron, Dr. Sue, Terry, triage nurse, Tanya, triage nurse, David, triage nurse, Dr. Waldron, Dr. McGregor, Dr. Sue, Dr. Mbimbola. You are all guilty of aiding this against me. Napanee, take this serious and everyone else. This is how the murdered and missing are happening. This is how O.P.P are committing these crimes. Remember this. Because that's pretty much done, so congratulations. Thank you. And I am the end of my bloodline. This is all revenge retaliation on me.